welcome to Cherish Talks. So today we're just gonna catch up on my life, pretty much. Just steering away from talking about MS, just like where I'm at now. So we have stepped into this new year, and I'm feeling positive about it and stuff, or trying to. So, I just actually made a big change in my life. I felt like it was time that I did do this. So I did a thing, got baptized, I guess literally this morning, like 12:30 a.m. And just even leading up to being baptized, I was so nervous. It was so nerve-wracking. I've ran away from it for so long because I've already done it before. Why do I need to do it again? And God just kept placing it on my heart, like, you gotta do this, like, this is necessary. Yes, you've done it before, but this is different this time. And so, right, like, even with my diagnosis, so when I got diagnosed and all that stuff, I feel like that's when I questioned God the most. I just wondered, like, why me, out of all people, have to go through this. I have a good heart. I'm a good person. I follow your word. At least what I thought I was doing. Like, I just felt like I'm genuinely a good person. Why? Like, is this happening to me? I'm like, I must have fell from grace or something. I'm like, you know what? I decided to, take matters into my own hand. And at that time, I gave up. I stopped believing because I'm like, there's just really no way, that God would do this to me. And, just living my life for me and doing whatever I wanted to, whenever I wanted to, however I wanted to. And I mean, even just like living that life without God, like, I could say was honestly my most sad times. Like, I was very depressed, very lonely, very unsure of myself. Like, it was a terrible time. I really thought I could just get through it and just fix things on my own. And I don't know, let's say maybe 3 or 4 years back, maybe three years back, my little sister, she, every Sunday morning, she would always be like, can we go to church? Can we go to church? Like, let's go to church. I'm like, for what? Like, I was like against it, but I'm like, she's asking, and the children are the future. So I'm just like, you know what? Let me just take her, and I don't know, maybe there'll be a spark there or something. I don't know. Started taking her to church. Then she wanted to get involved, get in the dance team. I'm like, okay, I mean, I could drop her. I'm not gonna stay. I don't want any parts, I'm just being a supportive sister. I didn't know, well, along with me being a supportive sister, that was what I needed. But I wasn't believing it at first. After she joined the dance team, the dance instructor, she moved away. So that then fell into my sister and I's hand, along with other people. But so now, family's involved. I have more than one sister, by the way, you guys. I have like 3 of them. Well, 4. But the youngest is the one that's in the dance team. And my first sister is really like the dance choreographer. So, and I go with her, and we both, help with the girls. So, at the time I'm like, this is your thing. I'm just here for help, or whatever the case is. Like, I truly did not want any parts of it. I felt like, who am I to be in charge of these people. I'm not even sure myself. I'm supposed to be leading these people. I don't even know if this is really where I should be, because I didn't think of myself in that high perspective and stuff. And time has passed by, and we just continuously doing practices, being around these young women. I like to call them young women because gotta speak positive things. They're growing, they're getting older, and all that stuff. But just like being around them, it made me annoyed, because I'm like, I was feeling like the Grinch. Like, I'm just like, I don't want to feel. I just want to be sad, and I want to be alone. I don't want to be around anything that makes me feel. I didn't want to feel anything, to be honest. And time went on, and then I guess last year, February, there's this women's conference, and one of the associate pastors at the church, she was just like, "Oh, I bought a ticket for your youngest sister, and I feel like this would be a great experience for her." And I'm like, that's nice. I'm like, I'm not going, and I don't know my work schedule. I was just, honestly, I was trying to find every excuse in the book. I didn't want to go. Well, also at the time, I was going through stuff, I guess, and I couldn't afford it either. But I'm just like, yeah, no, I can't. And next thing I know, like, my schedule, it opened up. So I guess technically I was able to go. And someone from church sponsored me to go. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna go. We're gonna test this out and see what it's about. And just being at that women's conference was so motivational. So it really, like I said, I didn't want to feel anything, but it really made me feel. And I'm like, okay, God, this is the place I'm supposed to be. This is the time. This is who I need to be surrounded by. And even being at that women's conference, it hit me, and I'm like, I feel like God was really talking to me, and he was just like, you need to get baptized again. Like, that's what settled in my spirit. And I'm like, baptized again. And I was so motivated at the time. I was like, yes, like, I need to do this. Like, this is different this time. It's not like the same. So motivated. I was ready to do it same day. And then after the conference, I'm like, maybe I was just talking too much. Like, let's relax. Like, I'm a little scared, because, also the more you read the Bible, the more you know, the more everything. It's like scary because, it feels almost kind of like, I want to say more responsibility, but everything is more responsibility as we get older and as we know stuff and as we go through experiences as well. So that was kind of like my thoughts. And I'm like, of course, making excuses. I ran away I was like, you know what, we could just cancel out. We just cop out and just be like, sorry, I thought, but maybe not. Like, that was my thought process. And even throughout last year, we put on a big event. Like, we were spending more time with the girls, and just even with dance ministry, and just like coming together to put together this night of praise. It was actually the 20th anniversary of Synergy Praise. So that was lovely, and it was beautiful, the fact that we were able to come together, unite, and bring something so beautiful, especially in honoring, God. So that made me feel, all right, I'm in the right place. I just keep running because I'm scared. And I feel like that me being scared led to me also having or developing anxiety and all this stuff, like I was just feeling more anxious all the time because I'm like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, but I feel like because the simple fact that I'm feeling anxious, I need to do it. So as time went on, and just even going to church, just even being around the young girls, like I'm just like, they don't even know, but they also kind of motivated me in a way too. Like just being around them like softens my heart. So it's like, I thank God for those young women, young girls. Like they don't even know, but they played such a big part in my darkest moments of life. I don't really talk about that too much because I don't want people to be all like, let's, well, granted you need people to be there for you, but you're just kind of like, I don't know, like, I got to figure it out. And I feel like in that time is when I prayed the most. So, I just also thank God for them. I thank God for my pastor. I thank God for my sisters. I thank God for my community. Like, and most of my community kind of knows that I do, battle these dark thoughts and things like that, and that I do, psych myself out or whatever the case is. So I also do thank those that are praying for me, and I'm grateful for that. So back to the whole baptism thing. So I guess, it was getting closer. I think November, I reached out to my pastor and I was like, okay, so what are the steps? Like, what do I have to do to get baptized? She sends me this long workbook. I'm like, not the workbook. I'm like, I'm looking at the workbook. I'm like, okay, so now I gotta find time to do this. Now, granted, we all have time. We're all like, we have that available time. It's just, what do we choose to do with it, So, but I'm just like lazy. I waited till like maybe the last moments, like maybe a couple weeks before the end of the year. Cause I'm like, dang, do I really want to do this? Like, is this where my heart is? And I'm like, the more I keep pulling away, the Lord keeps pulling me closer. I'm like, okay, I gotta be obedient. I must follow, I must listen, and just trust the process. Continue to pray, ask God for guidance. And so, even leading up to last night, I was so nervous. Even last night when I was at church, I was ready to walk out. I'm like, I can't do this. I really can't. And I was so sad because I'm like, what if I fail? Like, what if I don't live up to that, And, it made me think back to the Bible. God took people that were literally in their worst states. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't want someone that's perfect. He, wants someone that's imperfect and understand that they are perfect, and that they were beautifully and wonderfully made, that you're stronger than your situation or whatever it is that you're going through in life. So, even sharing my testimony last night, like in those times of depression, like I did want to die. I didn't feel, worthy of living and stuff like that. And, even in those times that I felt like that, like I realized, God never left my side. So leading up to, even walking on the stage, I was so scared. I'm so nervous. I'm not like good at public speaking. That's not my strong suit at all. But I tried my best to get through it. It was kind of lengthy, but just pretty much, even my testimony is like, in the times that I did feel dark, or that I felt like all there was darkness around me, and that I couldn't be, redeemed, or I couldn't be saved. I felt like I wasn't even worthy of being saved. And so I thank God just for keeping me, for continuously guiding me, even without my knowledge or even without me thinking, because I look back and it's just so many things or so many times that I should have been dead, or so many times that I should have been gone, or that I should still be crashing out right now, technically. Like, and you know, I always think we only see part of the vision and we only see part of the plan, but you know, God sees everything. He sees the total plan. He sees, even with the mess ups and even with the, you know, struggles and things that happen to us in life, it's all for a greater purpose. So, you know, I was able to get through my testimony, and you know, this morning I was baptized, and when they dipped me in that water, when I tell y'all that water was so cold, I could have cried, but you know, it is what it is. It woke me up. It made me feel refreshed. It allowed me to feel renewed, renewed in God's promises and my promise to Him. So, you know, just kind of wanted to also start the year off on a positive note, in moving forward in my life and in my journey, and even through my journey with MS and just life. So, you know, I just hope as we all step into this wonderful year, that this year is everything that we imagined it to be, you know, that expectations are fulfilled, and that our hearts are warm, and hopefully maybe this touched someone or spoke to someone's heart or something. And just thank you all for being here, and even just coming along this journey and listening to my story and stuff. And I appreciate you guys, and have a great day. Bye. Till next time.
Hello, church. Happy New Year. Okay, so I stand here today to be baptized for the second time. Not as the same person I once was, but as someone renewed by the grace of God. The first time I was baptized, I believed, but life's trials and tribulations left me feeling lost and without purpose. There was a time that I didn't want to live, when the weight of my struggles felt unbearable and I couldn't see a way forward. I gave up on God, and I thought He gave up on me. But I learned through the many storms, He showed me that every trial had a purpose. Every tribulation was shaping me, and every tear was watering seeds of growth and faith. He reminded me that my life has meaning, and that He has a plan for me, for far greater more than I could even imagine. And this second baptism is my declaration of recommitment. It symbolizes my decision to fully surrender to God and trust Him with my life. And I am choosing to live, not just to exist, but to live boldly for Christ.
Upon your confession of faith and obedience to the word of the Lord, my sister, I baptize you now in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.